Great, another knock at the door. I'm just trying to relax. Hello?
I'm here to clean, sir.
What? You're not gonna say anything else? So are you okay? You don't talk much, huh?
It's my job, sir. Always was.
Oh, okay. That's a little too quiet for me. Hey, I don't mean to be rude, but can you like leave? Oh my God, where did she go? Hello, I need to speak with someone. There's a problem in my room.
Good evening, sir. How may I assist you at the Menger Hotel?
There's something wrong with my room. A chambermaid came in. She didn't say a word. She just started cleaning and then she vanished. I don't know what's going on.
You must have met Sallie White.
Sallie White. Who's that?
Well, sir, Sallie was a chambermaid here many years ago. She worked at the Menger for decades until tragically she passed.
Wait, passed like she's dead?
Yes, sir. She passed in room 205, but don't worry. She's just here to help out a little. A little unfinished business, you know.
Oh, wait, so you're telling me I'm in the ghost room?
Oh, Mr. Smith, it's not like that at all. Sally's a lovely spirit. She'll just clean up after you. And well, if you're not careful, she might even fold your clothes. It's just, her routine.
Routine. You're telling me I'm stuck with a ghost cleaning my room.
Well, yes. But she's not the type to spook you. It's more like a very thorough, silent cleaning service. But if you're really uncomfortable, we could move you.
Yeah, let's do that.
Very well, sir. But before we do this for you, may I ask you a question? I just want to make sure we find the appropriate accommodation for you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you like ghost stories?
Wait, what does that have to do with...
Well, you see, if you would have listened to the Itty Bitty Horror podcast, you would have known about such stories and wouldn't be such a little bitch, sir.
Oh, hey, what the hell? Let me speak to your manager.
Very well. She'll be right up.
Hey, hi, yes, your receptionist is oh no, not you again. Damn you, Sallie White.
Damn you to
Damn you.
hell! Tim, how do you like these skits?
They're so good. It's really giving me a chance to stretch my acting abilities.
Yeah, I feel like we're gonna win a couple of Webby awards
I think
later.
so. I'm looking at a Webby right now.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Itty Bitty Horror Podcast with Luis and Tim. In this podcast, we discuss everything from horror movies to the scariest tales out there with a touch of humor. In today's episode, we're going to be discussing the haunted Menger Hotel located in downtown San Antonio. Tim, you stayed at this hotel before, right?
I did. I actually did.
Yeah. Did you know it was haunted at the time, or is this something that you're just finding out because we started talking about this episode?
It literally is because I mean, okay, I don't think I knew it was haunted at the time. I knew there was something about it that was like notable, like people were sort of talking about it when I had stayed there. But no, until we mentioned it, I didn't realize it was
Mhm.
the same hotel. So this is news to me.
Yeah, I think it's just pretty funny because we've both been to the Menger Hotel before we even knew each other.
Oh, you
Um,
went there?
yeah, not to
Oh,
stay there. I did go there on a ghost tour, but
of
years
course.
ago when I lived in San Antonio, exactly right. This was like around 2015-ish. Before I moved to the Bay Area, I went with some friends on a ghost tour from this touring company called Sister Grimm's Tours. And they took us, I did several tours with them, but one of the ones that I did was a dinner and a ghost walk, I guess, inside the hotel itself. So we had
Oh,
dinner in their dining area or whatever, and then they gave us a tour of the entire hotel and told us so many different stories. So for today's episode, we're actually going to be discussing a bit of the history of the hotel and discuss some real life ghost stories and experiences that have occurred at the hotel, Tim.
oh, okay. I like that plan.
You ready to, after this, do you think you be ready to travel down to Old San Antone and go book a reservation at the Menger?
Oh, hell yeah. Old San Antone. Here I come.
You're gonna be riding one of those old-timey horse-drawn carriages and just be like, "I'm here to check in."
Sign me up, Sonny. I don't know why I'm like an old man, but anyway.
Yeah, and they're just gonna tell you to leave, please.
Yeah, probably.
But here is the history of the Menger Hotel. Before the Menger Hotel became the landmark we know today, the land it stands on was the site of the battle that would forever be etched in the history of Texas, the Battle of the Alamo. Yeah, it was 1836, and the dream of Texas independence was on the brink of collapse. The tensions that had been simmering for years finally boiled over that February, Tim, turning the mission at the Alamo into a bloody battleground. Mexican General Santa Anna, hell-bent on crushing the rebellion, marched towards the Alamo with a reported 2,000 to 3,000 soldiers, determined to put an end to the Texas fight for freedom.
Who will win? Freedom
or Mexicans? Is that what you're saying?
Oh no, wait. I don't care who wins.
You should care. You're
okay. I
okay.
care, but on the right side, that it is.
Whoever that is. The odds were against the Texas and Tejanos, who stood their ground, outnumbered, outgunned, and facing almost certain defeat. Yet for 13 days they fought on. Their cries for help were heard, and 32 brave volunteers rushed to their aid, swelling their numbers to just over 200. But Tim, on March 6, 1836, the Mexican forces stormed the compound. Cannons stormed through the walls, and one by one the defenders, including the legendary James Bowie and Davy Crockett, fell.
Not Davy Crockett. Didn't he have a raccoon skin hat or something?
I think so. And I took Texas history in seventh grade. See, I don't remember anymore.
Wow. Okay. This is your native state and you don't even care.
I don't care. Sorry, Texans. But by the time the dust settled, Tim, the Alamo had fallen. And it's said that every man fighting for Texas' independence was lost. The land where the Menger Hotel would rise 23 years later was stained with their sacrifice. A sacrifice that would one day fuel the fight for freedom across the state.
Oh, wait. I'm starting to understand why it might be haunted.
Yeah, there actually were stories related to the Alamo, and I don't know if you remember, but the Menger Hotel is located right behind the Alamo. And
oh, yeah, I think I do remember that actually, because I remember we just walked there on that
yeah,
trip.
it's
And I was like, what's this? I don't,
what
I
is
didn't
this
even know what it
old
was.
brick building? Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's the Alamo. But yeah, the Alamo is right across the street without exaggerating. Like you could walk 10 steps and you're at the Alamo from the Menger Hotel.
Wow. San Antonio should give us like some money for this promotional tour we're giving everyone, I feel like.
I think so. Now, Tim, flash forward to 1859. Alamo Plaza is a different scene entirely. The echoes of battles have faded, and in the heart of the plaza, a new chapter is being written. The Menger Hotel is taking shape, a grand structure that would go on to become one of San Antonio's most iconic landmarks. Its story begins with two German immigrants, William and Mary Menger. William, who arrived in San Antonio in the early 1840s, found himself drawn to the booming cattle town of San Antone. He didn't waste
It doesn't
any.
say San Antone.
I wanted to add that.
Okay.
He didn't waste any time, Tim. By the mid-1840s, William had partnered with fellow German brewmaster Charles Philip Degen,
Sure.
right? To start the Western Brewery, the first brewery in Texas. By 1878, it had grown to become the largest brewery in the Lone Star State.
Is that Texas?
Yes.
No, I knew that one.
Oh, in fact, William was so successful in his ventures that by 1868, he had even bought out his main competitor, Naylor's Brewery, earning the title Beer King. Isn't that what they called you in college?
Oh, damn it. We crossed
What?
jokes.
You said the exact same thing.
I said, wasn't that your nickname in high school?
And I said the same thing to you. See, we both think alike. We're like in sync.
I know.
And I'm Justin Timberlake.
Oh, wait. Oh,
What?
that makes me JC. That's a good deal.
But while William's brewery was thriving, his path would cross with a widow who was about to change everything. Her name was Mary Gunther, and she owned a boarding house just a stone throws away from where the Menger Brewery was built. Mary had arrived in San Antonio in 1846, and after losing her husband, opened the boarding house to support herself. It was there that she would meet William. He made her boarding house his temporary and eventually permanent home for 3 years.
Wow. Wait, so permanent, but then for three
No.
years,
Well, it was temporary and then it became permanent because they got married.
but
But
then only
maybe
for three
this.
years.
Well, we're gonna get to that.
Okay. Oh, I'm jumping the gun, aren't I, Beer
No.
King?
Yes, Beer King. Soon the two were married and their business empire grew. The brewery flourished, but the boarding house needed more space. So together, William and Mary dreamed bigger. They decided to transform the boarding house into something grand, a hotel. And that's when the Menger Hotel was born. But Tim, just as the hotel was rising, so too was
Hmm.
the Menger's family's story about to take a tragic turn. In
Um,
1871, William Menger passed away at just 44 years old, leaving Mary and their son Louis to carry on the legacy. Yet,
and Louis became Louis Armstrong.
yes, he became Louis Casares. That's me. I'm the host. I am the
Oh,
son of, I am secretly Louis Menger. Anyway,
that would be such a good ending to this episode.
oh, damn, I ruined it halfway. Yet,
Oh,
despite the heartbreaking loss, Tim, Mary persevered. Together with Louis, they kept the Menger Hotel and Brewery thriving. Then in 1877, something happened that would change everything.
oh,
A new railroad service connected San Antonio to the rest of the country, bringing in a flood of new visitors to the city and to the Menger Hotel. With this new influx of travelers, the Menger Hotel became more popular than ever, cementing its place as one of the most iconic structures in San Antonio. And so, from the
is it
Bloods,
really?
yeah. Well, actually, no. I've never even thought of the Menger Hotel as the most iconic locations
Right?
in San.
I'm thinking of
Sorry.
like the Riverwalk. I'm thinking of the Alamo. I don't know. It's not the first thing I think of.
Yeah, I'm thinking of the Burger King located on Main Street.
Right, of course.
And so, from the blood-soaked soil of the Alamo to the elegant halls of the Menger Hotel, the land witnessed both the birth of a state and the rise of a landmark that would forever tell the tales of Texas, its triumphs, its struggles, and its spirit that can never be broken.
Wow. Bravo. Okay. Does that bring a tear to your eye, Mr.
No, it
Texan?
doesn't, but I wanted to
Oh.
make sure that you understood the history of the hotel before we get into the trauma.
But whose side are you on with the Alamo?
I am an American. I am Puerto Ricana.
No,
I'm
you
kidding. I'm Mexican. I don't know. I'm
weren't there Tejanos though who were on the side of the Texans?
yeah, yeah, of course they were. Yeah.
So who? So which?
Oh shoot, you're gonna put me in the spot and you're gonna have us lose. You know
Okay,
what?
never mind. I don't want
Yes,
your
let's
Texas friends to go after you, so never mind.
yes, exactly. So now, Tim, we're gonna go into the fire at the Menger Hotel. In 1924, there was a fire at the Menger Hotel. There's nothing related to ghosts or anything that happened here. You know, people didn't die, and now they're haunting the hotel as it's been rebuilt.
You say.
Or so they say, right? But I did want to bring it up because it was part of its history, and as we were talking about, like these German immigrants that came from Germany, obviously, and they built
Oh,
this.
German immigrants from Germany.
Yeah, they built this amazing, beautiful hotel. You know, there was still a lot of pain associated with it, not only from the death of one of the owners, but you know, there was a apparently a fire, and the Menger's wooden structures. Again, it was beautiful, but it's a ticking time bomb because it's kind of a death sentence, right? Especially if there's a fire and your whole building is made out of wood, it's like gonna go up in flames real fast.
That's true.
Yeah, but again, there's nothing here that mentions somebody dying that would eventually come on to haunt, you know, the Menger Hotel. But I didn't want to mention it. The hotel itself would come to experience tales of lost lives, though, and that's where we're going to be talking about from a former president to a young chambermaid.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm all ready.
You're sold.
I'm sold. I'm set. Let's go.
So, Timothy, in the beginning of the episode, we did talk a little bit about Sallie White. I want you, would you be okay? Would you be down? Would you be doing your job, your duty as an American and as a Tejano to read
Mhm.
our this next article about Sallie White?
Yes, I will do it. I'll do my
Yeah.
duty as a Tejano.
Go ahead.
In the late 1800s, Sallie White was a beloved chambermaid at the Menger, known for her warm smile and devotion to her work. The guests adored her, and her coworkers admired her tireless work ethic. But behind her cheerful demeanor was a life shadowed by heartbreak and fear. You see, Sally's husband, Harry Wheeler, was a man consumed by jealousy. Tales swirled through the hotel of his possessiveness, how he couldn't stand anyone looking at his wife, let alone paying her the kind of attention she deserved. Their home was a battleground, with arguments that echoed through the walls. And on the night of March 28th, 1876, it all spiraled into something far worse. The night before, the night before, their argument had escalated. Harry, in a fit of rage, threatened to kill Sally. Fear gripped her heart and she ran straight to the local police station, begging for help. The officers, seeing no immediate threat, allowed her to stay the night in the courthouse for her safety, but a search of their home revealed no weapons, and Harry was left free to stew in his jealousy.
Still like a little rat, but also the
Yeah,
police, like always, never being of any help.
I know. This is like every horror movie we review. Same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. The next morning, Sally tried to carry on with her day, returned to their house to gather her things before heading to work at the Menger. But Harry was waiting for her, and this time he had a gun.
No, we both reached for
No,
the gun.
Sally ran. She fled down the street, hoping to make it 2 blocks to the safety of the hotel, but Harry followed relentlessly. When he caught up with her, there was no more arguing, no more warning. He grabbed her and, in a flash, fired a shot into her abdomen. As she struggled to break free, he shot her again, this time just beside her spine. She died 2 days later in the very hotel she had worked so tirelessly to keep clean and welcoming. But Harry Wheeler, he disappeared. No one knows exactly what happened to him after that. He was never arrested for the murder of Sallie White.
Jeez, this is such a
I know.
unfair injustice. Like it's just the fact that he got away with killing her, shot her twice. The cops never paid attention to her. She was like, "Hey, this motherfucker's trying to kill me." And he was like, "Yeah, yeah, okay, girly, come sleep in the cell." And oh, he said he didn't have a gun, so we're not gonna investigate. And then he comes back and shoots her. Like,
I
geez.
know. Makes you think, it makes you wonder how many crimes probably were committed back then that no one ever caught wind
Oh
of,
yeah,
you know?
a lot. I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Yeah. The Menger Hotel, though, didn't forget their beloved chambermaid. In fact, they took care of her funeral, covering all the expenses. To this day, you can find a receipt in the lobby, proof of their kindness. For a grave, they paid $25. For a coffin, $7. The receipt reads, "Cold chambermaid deceased murdered by her husband."
Jeez, they put that on the. Oh, that's what the receipt said. I thought they put that on her tombstone.
What? Yeah. Wait, and why does it say cold chambermaid?
I think they meant like collected.
Oh, I see.
COL apostrophe D. Yes.
Okay. I was like, who's testing her temperature? Presumably she's cold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's
But
also like
here's
the fact that the hotel paid for this.
yeah.
Um, obviously, thank you for taking care of Sally's body and funeral expenses and everything. But no company would do this right now. If anything, like
No. You
if
think you're
I,
staying at the Hyatt and they're gonna do that for you?
yeah, no. But I mean, like even wherever you work, like if I died, they would just send a little greeting card and be like, "Hey, sorry you died."
I think you're being nice. I mean, I feel like they wouldn't even do that. I feel like they'd just be like, "Can you please cancel your teams?" And you just be like, "Please, I'm dead."
I'm dead. Please don't make me deactivate my account. We need to do an exit interview. Oh,
Next.
fine.
I know.
Ugh.
Oh, exactly. So, yeah, that's true. It was a better time.
Yeah.
Just kidding. I don't know. Probably wasn't. Anyway, but here's where the story takes a twist. Sally's spirit, it seems, could never truly leave the Manger. Over a century later, guests still report seeing her ghost, especially on the third floor where she spent her final days. She's always carrying something, an armful of towels or sheets, as if she's still doing her job, still caring for the hotel as she once did. Wow.
I would, I mean, I'd be dead, and maybe there's a bigger conversation to have whether if you're a ghost, do you have a conscience or not. But
And we're
imagine,
going to have that conversation now.
yeah, exactly.
No, we're
Right
not
now,
going
do you believe that? No, I think more than anything, just like you get killed by your husband, so you've already had like, oh fuck, this is the end of my life. Fine, fine, I give up. But then you still have to clock in the next day in full towels.
to.
It's like, oh God, I guess I should have been nicer to the waiter
I
at
know.
the old bakery, whatever.
Yeah, the old bakery. Well, and wouldn't she just go up to like the penthouse of the Menger and try on the rich lady's coat and then kind of meet a congressman who's in love with ghosts?
Yeah, and be like, let's go for a walk if your husband doesn't mind. And the ghost's child will say, like, she doesn't have a husband.
Doesn't have a husband.
Okay, that was Made in
And then she'd be like,
Manhattan.
Ty.
Ty, leave her alone. Leave me alone. Anyway, that's a little J-Lo reference, but yes, go ahead, Tim. Now you brought her up, not me.
I know, I did. I did it for you, though.
Yay, thank you.
On two separate occasions, guests reported seeing Sally walk right through a wall or even a door, like the boundaries of this world didn't apply to her anymore. Oh, that kind of rhymed. Once a guest, fresh from the shower, saw Sally's ghost folding sheets at the edge of the bed. Imagine the shock and the fear that gripped that guest's heart before they rushed downstairs to tell the concierge what they had witnessed.
Such a loser.
I know, I like that they waited in line for the concierge. Like, you could just go to the, people that put the luggage in the back or something, right?
Yeah.
They're like, no, it has to be the concierge. They know everything that's going on at this hotel.
Yeah.
So if you ever find yourself staying at the Menger and you're hoping for a glimpse of Sallie White, here's a tip. I don't know why it's funny how I said that to myself.
Here's a tip,
Uh,
kid.
Here's a tip. Get a real job. That's what I was
Yeah.
picturing when I said that. So if you're hoping for a glimpse of Sallie White, here's a tip. Book a room on the third floor of the original part of the hotel. Keep your eyes peeled for a faint figure in a maid's uniform, a scarf tied around her head, and a beaded necklace. And if you're really lucky, mess up your sheets. Who knows? It might just be Sally's way of letting you know she's still there, offering her help from the other side.
Yeah, she will definitely be mad. If I'm there, staying at the hotel, I was like, you know what? Can I stay at the room where Sally Mae died? Or
$205.
Sally White, not Sally
Sally
Mae.
Mae,
Where
where
Sally
Fannie
White.
Mae and Freddie Mac does stayed.
Can I stay at the room where Sally White died? And they're gonna be like, you don't even know your damn history. She got shot outside at the hotel, and she died inside in our lobby or whatever. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. Can I just stay in the original? They're like, just here, get out of here. And throw a quarter in my face. But eventually, somebody lets me into the room, and I'm there, and I mess up the bed on purpose. I'm like, oh yeah, come on, Sally Mae, come here and clean up. And she's like, you know what?
How do you mess up the bed?
You just move the sheets around and like, untuck it or whatever it's called. I don't
Isn't that what
know.
everyone does when they sleep in a bed, though?
No, but I'm only going there to do this.
Oh, okay. So she only gets annoyed if you're not actually staying there?
Yeah, and then she sees me. She's like by the hallway of the inside the hotel, and she's
Hmm.
smoking a cigarette, and she's like, oh, I fucking hate these motherfuckers. I really fucking hate when they do this shit to me. They think I'm a clown, that I'm just gonna show up whenever they, dishevel the bed or whatever. I don't know. Is that the right
Oh
word?
my gosh. Sally White has a mouth on her. She's got a sailor mouth.
Well, I mean, we are also assholes for doing this, right?
Oh yeah.
We're like trying to
Good
conjure
point.
her up, and then she's like, you know what? This motherfucker really wants to get scared. Let me scare him right now. And then I'm like there messing with the bed, like, haha, come on, Sally White, come out. And then she fucking hits me with her with a old timey iron, those big
Oh
heavy ones.
no.
She
Yeah.
hits me in the head, and I fall to the ground. And then you just see Sally White dragging my carcass down the halls of the Menger Hotel, and I'm now a new ghost there.
Oh no. And your teeth are clinging to the carpet. You're like, "Rah."
Something like that.
Okay. Yeah, imagine that, huh? I know. I'd be scared though. Honestly, if I saw any kind of ghost in a hotel, I'd be freaked out. In fact, I feel like the fact that I didn't know that that was a ghost, well, that there was a ghost at that hotel when I stayed there is a good thing because I wouldn't have
Yeah.
stayed there probably.
Well, I mean, you were probably a kid, no, when you went with your family.
Yeah, I mean, I might have been
So you
like
had no
14 or
option
something, 14 or 15. Yeah.
unless you wanted to sleep in the Riverwalk.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. The overrated Riverwalk. Sorry, San Antonio.
We're gonna get dragged to hell.
Oh, I know. Never mind. I take it back. Too much money. All right,
Oh.
continue.
Now we talk about the second sighting, the second ghost. This time we discuss Captain Richard King's ghost.
Oh,
Dun dun dun.
dun dun dun.
Another famous guest at the Menger Hotel is that of Captain Richard King. King, originally from New York City, came from a poor Irish family. They lacked the funds to provide for their son, so in desperation, they sold young Robert as an indentured servant.
Oh God.
Yeah. So,
That's what happened to me.
oh, that's how
No.
you ended up as a young Tejano, and you became a young Tejano, and then you moved back to California.
That's right. Yeah.
The young boy hated his time with the jeweler in New York, and at the first opportunity, he ran away and hid in a ferry destined for the Mississippi River.
He hid in a ferry. That's what you do.
He stowed away. Yeah, he stowed away, no?
Yes.
With New York behind him, Richard King would go on to become one of the most successful entrepreneurs of the 19th century in all of America, Tim.
Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah, he founded a steamboat company and actually worked as a blockade runner during the Civil War. Wait, which side did you fight, Richard
Yeah,
King? We want to know
I
because
was
this
gonna say
this makes
he's
a big
pretty
difference. Yeah.
pretty low there in the country's location there. I don't know.
After the way, he made his way to Texas and decided to buy land in Corpus Christi. There, he opened what is now famously known as King Ranch, which grew to over 1 million acres.
Can I just say I think after the way was after the war.
Eh. Oh, yeah. After the war, he made his way to Texas and decided to buy land in Corpus Christi. There, you happy?
There, I'm happy now.
He developed a love and appreciation for the Menger Hotel during his trips to San Antonio for business. He stayed so often, actually, that the hotel bestowed upon him, his own private suite on the second floor. See, I did actually get to see this.
I can't believe they bestowed that upon
That
him.
bestowed upon him. Yeah, no, I remember when I was doing the tour, they showed us his hotel room, his suite, I
Oh, they
guess.
did?
And the reason I bring this up is because they told us stories about how if one of the guests had previously stayed there, they had seen an apparition standing at the foot of his bed, and it
A
was turned out to
specter?
be a specter, and it turned out to be Richard King, Mr. King, whatever his name is,
Mr.
Richard
King,
King.
who fought in the Civil War, and we don't know for which side.
Yeah. Well, Tim, it turns out.
Yeah.
Uh,
Anyway,
anyway, sorry. He developed a love and appreciation for the Menger Hotel. I already said that, Luis. Stop it. He stayed so often. I already said that too. When I'm lost in my own reading. When King grew deathly sick with stomach cancer at the end of his life, sure he wasn't poisoned by an ula from little Hungary town, but anyway, you don't know what I'm talking about. Do you remember the ula who would feed poison to their anyway? A different
wait,
podcast,
what was
different
that
topic.
from?
Do you remember okay, for
Oh, yes, the little Hungarian town. I do remember this. This was one
yeah,
of a Weekly World News podcast episodes.
yeah, exactly. But
Oh, you're
uh
crossing populations here, Louise. No one who's listening to this listens to that.
I don't think anybody listens to the other one, period. I'm just
Oh,
kidding.
that's not true.
That's not true.
Right,
We
listeners?
have
Write in
20
and tell us.
we have 22 listens on one episode from the other. Anyway, um
Three of those are definitely me.
5 of them are mine.
Make sure to check out the other podcast hosted by Lewis and Timmy. It's called Tabloid Time Warp.
When he grew sick with stomach cancer, if you would let me finish, Tim.
I'm sorry. Maybe you should begin all your sentences with, so Tim.
So, Tim, he actually requested to be brought to his private suite where he passed away on April 14th, 1885.
Wow.
He died, yeah, he close to your birthday, so maybe you are the reincarnated version of Richard King.
I feel like April 14th is the date of some famous death of like a US president. I can't.
Maybe. Spoiler alert. Actually, I don't have any news on that.
Oh,
Um,
yes, Abraham Lincoln. He was assassinated on April 14th, 1865. I was right.
well, 20 years before that. So
Okay, but still, April
close to it,
14th,
yeah.
it's a spooky date.
Ooh, now we know. True. You're right. You're right. His funeral was held downstairs in the Menger's lobby, and it is said that the celebration was the largest funeral procession seen in quite some time in San Antonio. Imagine a hotel having a funeral procession right there in the lobby.
Yeah, that'd be
As
awkward.
like in today's age, you know what I mean? Like you're trying to pay with your little Amex card, it's getting declined, and then in the back behind you, there's a funeral for little.
Yeah. Wait, why are you saying my card gets declined?
Oh, because you spent too much time buying too many
Don't
dildos.
say it. I knew you were gonna say it. I knew it.
Turns out
Plus,
that
plus, what if the
mhm.
hotel is booking a wedding too at the same time? So you got a wedding in one room and a funeral in another, and then, a convention for like a medical
Ye-
science conference.
Yeah, and Tejano's whose debit card is getting declined.
Is that me?
Yeah. Turns out that much like Sallie White, Captain Richard King was not about to let death be the reason he was seated from the Menger. Oh, no. Since the time of his passing, his ghost has been spotted at the Menger, most especially in his old private suite.
Ooh.
Guests have reported all sorts of paranormal phenomena in the suite, especially the sense of being watched. One woman sleeping awoke only to glance at the foot of the bed and see an apparition of Captain King watching her. Did she
Oh
know who he
no.
was and what he looked like? She'd be like, wake up and be like, oh, that's Richard King. I would just be like, that's a black shadow
Yeah, that's a black shadow with a giant cowboy hat.
in a big lasso for some reason.
He also worked on a rodeo for a little while.
He's a rodeo clown like us. Captain
Yeah.
King's spirit is said to continue residing in the Menger Hotel. Over the years, there have been numerous accounts of guests and staff witnessing apparitions of Captain King. Captain King.
Captain
Some of
King.
the claims related to Captain King's hauntings include appearance in his suite. Guests staying in the King Ranch room have reported seeing the apparition of Captain King. He is often described as wearing a dark suit and staring out of the window or pacing the room.
That's like what you do in your apartment, isn't it?
Well, yes, but like, well, yeah, I'm just like, especially if it's like a nice rainy day outside, I'm wearing a black suit and I'm just pacing around my living room. And then I look
And you call it
outside.
the King Ranch room because you like to eat a lot of ranch dressing.
Yeah, I like to eat Doritos, the ranch ones. Yes.
Yeah, yeah, Cool Ranch Doritos.
Yes. Disappearing doors. The door to his suite is another center of paranormal activity. Some claim to have seen the door mysteriously open and close on its own.
Okay, well that could be a draft or something. I feel like people are going a little far, but okay, whatever.
A giraffe. You know
A
how heavy
draft.
this wooden oak doors are? I don't think a little giraffe wind is gonna swing the doors open and close them.
How do you know that the doors are made of oak?
I was there to install them.
What?
I was the
You
installer.
you're the contractor that
I
helped
was a
build the
contractor, yes. Footsteps and voices. Some guests have reported hearing footsteps in the hallway outside the King Ranch room when no one is there. Whispered conversations believed to be Captain King communicating with unseen entities have also been heard.
I don't know. Have you ever stayed in a hotel and like you hear conversations in the hallway even
Yeah.
though you're trying to sleep?
Yeah,
Oh,
that's imagine if I just decided, like, yeah, exactly. I'm sleeping and people are just walking by to the ice making machine
right. Or
and
the vending machine. They want a Butterfinger.
they want a Butterfinger and they have a little bucket of ice and they're just walking by while they're chewing the little Butterfinger and they're like, have the cell phone on their shoulder. It's like, Mary, I told you, I'll be right
Mary,
there.
no one better lay a finger on my Butterfinger.
And Mary's like, fuck you, I want a divorce. And then he's like,
Wow,
what?
they are talking at cross purposes.
Yeah, and the point is that I'm in my room. And I'm like, I don't immediately think that's a ghost. I'm like, oh no, that's Captain King. He's talking to somebody. He's gonna get a divorce from Sallie White.
From Fannie Mae.
I was gonna say Sallie Mae again.
Is everyone in your story named Sallie White?
Yes. No,
Hmm.
it's like I'm a little boy with like little dolls, and you know how you try to force two Barbie dolls to kiss or Ken and Barbie to kiss. I'm doing the
I
same thing,
actually
but with
don't know that. I think that was
oh
just you.
okay. Meanwhile, I'm doing that with ghosts. I'm trying to get the ghost of Captain King and Sallie White to kiss. I'm like, come on, kiss, and give me some ghost children.
Ew, what the
Give me some
hell?
ghost babies. And
No.
our listeners are like, you've insulted the Alamo. You implied that you two would fight for the South
Wait, no,
in the
we
Civil
didn't.
War,
Listeners, you have misremembered what we said.
and now you're making fun of both deceased individuals and implying that they should have ghost babies. We are reporting you to
Oh, to
the
who? Who
to
would
the
they report us
podcaster
to?
unions of America.
Oh, they're the most powerful union.
And I'm gonna contact my baby daddy Elon Musk to come take you down.
Oh, God.
Fuck Elon Musk. I just want our listeners to know that will not be bleeped. That is true. Um, as I promote this on Twitter. Hey, listen to my
Please
podcast.
subscribe.
So the final story, Tim, is the ghost of Teddy Roosevelt. Does he haunt the Menger Hotel?
No, okay. I did
Hmm.
actually I think I did hear this rumor when I stayed there.
Yeah.
So that's one ghost story that I guess I did hear. So the thing I said at the beginning of this episode, I guess
Hmm.
is not entirely true. But there you go.
Yeah, well, picture this. The year's 1898, and a larger-than-life figure arrives in San Antonio with a crew of mismatched tough-as-nails men. Colonel Theodore Roosevelt, with his Rough Riders, takes up residence at the Menger Hotel. But what really sends a chill down your spine, Tim? The ghost of Teddy Roosevelt still haunting the Menger to this day.
The Menger.
This just wasn't any visit, Tim. Teddy came to San Antonio in the thick of the Spanish-American War, looking for soldiers to fight alongside him. The Menger Hotel became a hub of recruitment, and for the next month, Teddy's men, some were college pals, others were Native Americans, Texas cowboys, even random civilians, would mingle with the locals, making such an impression that the people of San Antonio dubbed them Teddy's Terrors.
Is that a compliment? I mean,
I don't know, but also some of his college pals, others were Native Americans. They're just listing them by their ethnicity. Some Mexicans, they didn't even have him comparing Mexicans here.
A
but
Filipino person.
One Filipino person.
A couple of Jewish people.
A Vietnamese guy. He's like, what? Okay, damn. And to top it off, we're going to call them Teddy's Terrors. Like, jeez. So when the war ended and the men came back to the Menger in 1905 for a reunion, they didn't know that their bond would transcend time. And Teddy, well, Tim, his ghost decided to stick around.
I like that it says, and Teddy, well, it's like it's reading it like it's Morgan Freeman on like a Civil War documentary.
Menger's Bar. That's where Teddy Skulls hangs out.
This isn't a quote. That's just you've decided to take on a new voice.
I was trying to do a Morgan Freeman voice, but
Morgan Freeman.
Yeah, but that's where Teddy's ghost hangs out the most, Tim, at the Menger Bar. Staff have seen him, his figure faint, almost translucent, standing by the bar silently watching. Okay, have you ever been to a bar? I mean, yes you have. Have you ever been to a bar, Tim? Period.
Yes.
But do you know, like, have you ever seen like the one local drunk who's just there holding his little beer can and just like almost like falling?
Yeah, and then I say, hi, Luis, what are you doing here?
I'm here. My podcast. I need you to be back on. Please take me back, Tim. I don't know what I'm saying.
Fine.
I'll be on the podcast. But you know what I mean? Like you see like one local drunk who's holding his beer and he's like almost falling off the fucking chair. Maybe that's what they saw and they think it was Teddy's ghost.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, you look kind of translucent when you're drunk anyway, right?
Me or anybody?
I don't know what point I'm making. You probably don't. I don't know.
I have like a little see-through glowfish or something when I'm drinking. Like I drink like a fish. Anyway, picture this again. The bartender's closing up, ready to head home, when suddenly there's a voice. It's loud, clear, and unmistakably Teddy's, calling them over as if they were his next recruit. The staff say it's not much of a conversation. It is a challenge, as though he's trying to drag them back into history with him.
Oh no!
Imagine you're dead. I mean,
okay.
imagine you're dead and you still are there, much like Sallie White, cleaning, still clocking in for her ghostly duties. You have Teddy still
9 to 5.
Yeah, you have Teddy Roosevelt still trying to relive his glory days and be like, I need more men to go to war with me. It's like, dude, you're dead. The war's over. I'm here trying to make a buck so I can get on the Titanic.
That ship will never go down.
Exactly. But it's like, dude, give it up, loser.
Give it up, bud.
There's nothing I hate more than ghosts who are just losers. I want a ghost
and
that's
warmongers.
Yes, well, that too. But I was going to say ghosts that are like there to scare you. Hey, I love you. Keep doing your job.
Right.
Like that's amazing.
That's lovely.
But ghosts that are trying to relive their heyday and they're like, oh, let's go back to war, or hey, let me clock in and let me fold these towels, or
was that her heyday?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
It's pretty sad.
Well, it would have been more if you wouldn't have reached for the gun and killed her, Tim. You were her husband.
You're trying to frame Sallie White's death on me.
Yes.
Wow.
So one night, one new guy, let's just say he didn't expect to meet that kind of ghost. It was his first time closing up the bar. And as he turned to finish locking up, that's when he saw it. Him, Teddy Roosevelt, with his big
oh shit,
sitting at the bar like he owned the place. Loser. Eyes locked onto him, as intense as ever. That new employee, panic settling in, bolted for the exit, only to realize he was locked in. The terror gripped him as he pounded on the door, screaming for help. But all the while, Teddy just stood there watching, waiting, time stretched on, and the new guy kept banging. They say even then, like, after he got out, it's like, ah, look at this, the new guy, fucking loser.
I know. Like, let's go. Come on.
No one knew how long it lasted. No one knew how long Teddy stayed, just staring, waiting. Waiting for what, sir? You're a loser.
So he doesn't even say, "Hey, join me in my quest." He's just
No, he
like
was just
staring at him.
sitting there like the local drunk. He's just
Wow.
like, just there staring, waiting.
Wow, Teddy.
It was only then when another employee finally heard the cries that the door opened, but by then the damage had been done. Shaken, pale, and visibly broken, the new guy couldn't even bring himself to walk back into the bar. He quit that very night, never returning to the Menger again. What do you think, Tim? Of the three stories we talked about today, which one is your favorite? Which is your favorite ghost? Do you like
Hmm.
Teddy Roosevelt's haunting little presence at the bar? Do you like Captain Richard King standing at the foot of the bed, just flicking to his bean as you sleep?
I don't remember
Or
that part.
Sally White, folding your shit stained underwears for you
Oh,
as
okay.
you're vacuuming. Why would you be vacuuming as you're standing there? Who's your favorite ghost?
I think Sallie White's my favorite ghost. I'm not gonna lie to you. I like the idea of her folding my clothes while I'm sitting there staring.
If there were a three-way, wait, not three, that sounds perverted.
What?
I didn't mean that. I meant to say, like, if it were Richard King, Richard King, Teddy Roosevelt, and Sally White in a room, who do you think would win in a tussle?
Oh, Richard King, Teddy Roosevelt, or Sallie White? I think
Yes.
Sallie White has evaded her murderous husband, so I feel like
Well, did she though? She died at his hands.
you're right. She she actually was bad at evading him. Okay, so not her. Yeah, I guess Teddy Roosevelt probably. I mean, he sounds tough in the stories people tell about him.
Yeah, and his little racist crusades. But aside from that, he was like
Yeah.
he was off to war fighting. Whereas Richard King, well, he was part of the Civil War. I don't know. Anyway, he is,
Oh yeah, he was in the Civil War. You're right. Maybe he would win.
I don't know. He was yeah, I don't know. I would say Sally White. I'm still gonna go with Sally White because I feel like she would,
What?
yeah, as Teddy Roosevelt is there drunk at the bar, she'd just go right behind him and just wrap a towel around his neck
Oh.
and then drag him down the stairs like she would drag me.
Oh, wait. Well, why would she drag you like that?
That was part of my story earlier, no? When I'm like trying to like
Oh,
prompt her
that's
to
right.
scare me, and then she would just be like, you know what, motherfucker, let me hit you with this iron, and bam!
I forgot Sally White loves the F word.
Sally White is also like dragging bodies across the fucking Menger Hotel hallways,
I
ready
know.
to avenge her own death somehow
Yes,
with the wrong
somehow that
people.
relates.
So, Timmy, I know you like it when I say that.
Love it.
We've learned
So
so much
Louise.
about the Menger Hotel, yes, from its rich history to its ghostly guests. Before
Hmm.
we wrap up, Tim, do you have any final thoughts or a favorite story from your time learning today about the Menger Hotel?
I do. My favorite story was the one where we imagined what it would be like for you to get attacked by Sally White, aka Sally Mae.
Yes, with a thick 20-pound iron over
Yes.
my skull.
Yeah, and she keeps saying the F word again and again as she drags you away.
And
That's
she's like,
just
"You,
fun
yeah."
story.
She's just dragging me. She's like, "You little I always fucking hated you,
Oh no.
motherfuckers. I'm gonna fucking kill you. I'm gonna throw you down to the depths of hell." And then that's the end of Louis. If you would like more information on booking a stay at the famous hotel, I'll be posting this in our show notes along with the sources to our conversations today. Tim,
Oh,
would you revisit this hotel? Like now, knowing what you know, would you go back and stay there?
you know what? I might because I already stayed there and I didn't get haunted. So what the hell? Yeah, I
You want
would.
to go there and
Sure.
get possessed? And there's like tons of stories. I only picked the three most famous ones. But there's a ton of stories of other deaths, people dying in the courtyards, et cetera, et cetera. But I would want to stay there. I've never stayed there before. I only went there for again, a ghost tour dinner type situation. It was so much fun. But I would actually like to stay there.
I know. Well, when I was in New Orleans recently, there were a lot of kind of ghost tour experience things you could do in New Orleans. So I feel like, it'd be cool to do this in San Antonio maybe because I feel like it's not that scary of a city overall.
No, it's a very historic city, and if you ever have a chance, listeners, if you ever go down to San Antonio, check out the ghost tours that they have there. San Antonio, I've been to so many ghost tours all over the country, New Orleans, somewhere in New
Not
York.
bragging.
No. I'm not even a brag. I don't even know how this is a
It's a
brag.
brag. It's a
Oh, I've been
brag.
so many ghost tours. I've been that's such a loser thing to say. Actually, that's not true. Our
Too
listeners
many
would
to
appreciate
count.
this. Yes, our listeners would appreciate this. But I've been to so many ghost tours from Portland, New York, Bay Area, et cetera, et cetera. And my favorite ghost tours, my favorite one so far, is the one in San Antonio that I
Okay,
did
I was gonna
because
say, don't say the Winchester because that's a freaking ripoff.
oh, sorry to our Winchester sponsors
Oh,
for this
oh.
little.
What I mean is, it's a ripoff if you don't go.
Yes, please go and walk those 427 exact steps to get to a doorway to nowhere.
Right.
Yeah, it is a bum of a tourist trap. But the ones in San Antonio, the ones in San Antonio are so much fun. So if you ever are in San Antonio, want to go on a ghost tour, please make sure to check this out. I did it with Sister Grimm's tours, but there's others, city ghost tours and Alamo City tours, etc. But there's so many good stuff out there. I want to thank you once again for putting up with today's shenanigans. We were supposed to be doing a Buffy episode recap this week, but I'll be honest, listeners, I've never seen the show, and I want to watch at least the first 2 seasons before we actually release this episode.
And you can send in your hate mail to our email to let him know just how bad that is, that he hasn't seen this great show.
Yes, it's Tim Eats dildos at gmail.com. Yes. Also, if you like today's episode, make sure to leave us a 5-star review wherever you listen to our podcast. We're on social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Blue Sky, everywhere, Tim.
It's probably.
As for next week, well, let's just say you're going to need a tetanus shot after listening to us. I don't know what that means.
Let's just say you're
Let's
going
just say you're going to need it.
antibiotics.
You're going to need antibiotics after listening to our filthy podcast. But thank you so much for listening to us. And Tim, any last words you want to say to our listeners?
No.
Okay. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.